My punch is the best in the universe. I thought it was the best in the universe. Isn't that so?
Simply put, I'm on a roll. There's no one to stop me. If I say I'm going to charge, I'll charge.
Just a supreme mood maker.
It was quite a time back then.
You were hated, weren't you? You think you're hated, don't you? I think you're hated quite a bit. You're holding two, aren't you? A genius with 3 world champions and 3 simultaneous champions.
Rather than calling it my belt, it's a family belt. It's a belt that everyone took.
I thought I quit here even if I lost to Uchida-san, saying that I've done enough. But I was born into this family, so it's not good to run away. For the sake of the family, I have to become a champion, so I won there.
How did you feel the moment you won?
I can't quit.
I thought it was good.
Is that so?
Welcome to the Catcast. This is Shin. Today we have a very special guest in the studio. This is Daisuke Ikeda. Please treat him well. He also appears on his own channel, so check out his videos linked in the description. I'd be happy if we could delve into Daisuke Ikeda's life story in this video, but there are so many things I want to ask. Where should we start? Maybe with why you started boxing or how you became a boxer, something like that.
Well, my family is the Kameda brothers and I'm right in the middle. When I realized that, I just went for it.
I started with karate from the beginning.
From around the age of 6 or so.
Then to boxing.
I started with karate. Around when I was in 4th or 5th grade in elementary school, I was doing both boxing and karate at the same time. It's Kyokushin karate, not Shitoryu. There's something about the speed of boxing that seems to fit well with it.
It's a style of karate, though.
I did karate to become a boxer.
I started it. It's Fukai. It seems like Fukai. As you said, I don't understand Fukai.
So why did your father want to raise a boxer?
And I love boxing, and I wanted to do boxing myself. But for some reason, I couldn't do it without having a child who was born and couldn't box. I didn't have any money, so when a child was born, if a boy was born, I wanted to make him a world champion. That's how I thought about it.
But when I hear that, why is it that the family is so rich?
So, it wasn't just ordinary, was it? I don't understand money, but I don't think it's that wealthy.
I want to raise a boxer.
It's tough, isn't it? I have children, you know?
Family.
I don't know your family situation, but I've been doing it every day with my 3 kids and wife. My mother is always there, but she's already... We moved to Tokyo when we were 17. I really did boxing with bare hands all the time. For 17 years, from the age of 17 to 18, we were all in Tokyo. That's where we all were when we were active in boxing.
Boxing is...
I didn't like it, you know.
I didn't like it all along, but I liked the end. I really liked the end. Is that what you call boxing? It was surprisingly simple, or should I say, unexpectedly simple and difficult. I always thought it was difficult, but boxing is really interesting when you get the hang of it. Practicing was also a lot of fun. There was a time when I was in Miami, and that was when I was at my strongest.
Until then.
It's a servant.
I was doing it as a job, but I didn't really do it as a job. Boxing was my job, you know. It was hard, but I still had the belt. That's where it started. But I was scared, and I was scared.
I retired, but when I look at it, Shironita has a unique training method.
And so on.
Isn't that right?
That's all.
I thought about everything by myself.
Oyaji thought about everything by himself. He kept trying and trying. I really think I'm a Christmas trainer. There is Christmas.
Really?
When I'm doing it, I never thought it would be so hot. I've also been a trainer after retiring. Now I'm the president of a boxing gym, but I only teach 3 people. They are my own children. I can't choose anyone else, right? But even so, can't I choose a world-class trainer? Even so, can't I become a world champion? A father doesn't choose. Are all 3 of my children not world champions? This really frustrates me. I've been cooking meals from morning till night, and I wonder if all fathers are like this. I have children too. I can't go that far. Even as a salaryman, I sometimes can't. I come home, drink, and sleep. That's how it is. Since I don't have a father, I'm super strict, says Fukai. I get up early in the morning, run, go to work, come back, go straight to the gym, teach, go home, and watch practice. I wonder where my father used to play. Fukai didn't play, did he? Or didn't he? On Sundays, we all play together, so I'm always with my father.
I have a dream of raising a world champion. That's why I'm doing this.
To make it a reality.
That's my motivation.
Do you not drink from the deep well? I enjoy drinking and playing with my kids, but don't I have my own time? I use 100% of it for my kids. As a parent and a trainer, I thought there was no one like me in the world. Now, after retiring, I don't understand what I was doing.
Everyone. That's why I also look at other things in my life.
I don't have any spare time, but there are no trainers like me in the world, so I also hold a Guinness record. There are no 3 world champions. There are no brothers in the world, right? There are 2 of them, right? Well, 1 by 1. There are no 3 of us. I have 2 Guinness records. The Guinness. 3 world champions and 3 simultaneous champions. That's why I think my father is the best trainer in the world. As a trainer.
There aren't many people who become famous.
Isn't that so?
Being famous, you know, as a character, you're established, you know. It's bad to say cha, though. It's exciting.
Because
it's a place without rules.
I think it's a mess.
You know,
in that sense, my father is truly unique, isn't he? Is everyone friendly? They are friendly. They are friendly. Were there any unfriendly periods? There are no unfriendly periods, but there are rivals, right? I won't fight. We're rivals after all. It's hard. We're brothers. It's complicated anyway.
3 people are 3 people.
If I don't become a champion, my dream won't be fulfilled. If I fail, will there only be 2 champions? If I don't take it, everyone won't take it. The world of 3 people, saying we are champions. It's one thing for the 3 of us.
well, first and foremost,
The world champion is already your brother.
Second is me, and third.
But me, I lost twice. You know, I've lost in the World War twice, and I won on the 3rd time. Tomoki has already won once, and my brother has also won once.
I heard that Daiki didn't practice much somewhere.
But still.
Is that really true? How is it?
Well, it might not have been a World War-like adjustment, but it wasn't, right?
But there's an older brother and a younger brother, too.
Oli.
Doesn't mean we all have the same menu, does it?
Toku,
I'm attempting to pull it out slightly.
Just a little bit, right?
I'm saying I'm pulling it.
Just a little bit.
Pull?
Even if you say it, I do it. But when I really became a world champion, and really the last one practiced the most from around here, I have changed. As for boxing, my mindset or the world should be like this. There are things that stand up, like food and drinks, and from then on I don't drink juice. I still abstain from juice and everything impure that doesn't exist in boxing. Doing so made me stronger. When I say I was sick, I mean I became serious. That's how it is. As a world champion, my goal has changed to becoming a great champion. It's the first time I've considered this. When I was a child, I wanted to be a world champion. But once I became a world champion, I felt like quitting. I hated boxing so much that I was only boxing to quit boxing. It's kind of strange, isn't it? I'm unique from typical people and boxers. I had planned to retire after becoming a champion.
But I didn't quit.
Right. I didn't quit. I couldn't get myself to quit.
I see, your father.
Yes.
What will your family do if you quit?
If I quit, there's plenty to do. My brother won the belt, you know. He beat Uchida-san, and then I became the champion. In the next match, my brother lost. He lost to Ponsaklek, so the belt won't disappear. If I retire, the belt won't disappear from Miyazaki, so it's like saying it won't disappear.
I want to hear a lot about that match you had from your pro debut, Mr. Knight. It's amazing pace to have a world title match in just 1 year and 8 months.
Isn't it, Mr. Fukai? You're amazing. Objectively, he seemed to regress and was in a rush. He debuted at 17, right? At just over 18, he challenged the world, didn't he? To compete at that level, you must be world ranked. He's beaten top ranked opponents. So putting the match aside, I believe he's an incredible boxer.
That's right, there are such players. It does not exist. Well, I'm 18 years old now, you know.
Boiling.
Well, that's not the case. Not at all. I think it's interesting, but I was probably quite disliked at the time.
Yeah, I'm really disliked, aren't I?
Or so it seems, mentally, in the shadows.
So, what are you saying? It's simply riding on the mood, right? Stop. You're saying there's no one around, right?
If you run, you run.
Even so, if I had won with that, I think my life would have changed again. So now I think it was good that I didn't win. Oh,
The press conference of Fuji's selection, I thought it was something, but it was interesting to see Daiki-san winning the gold medal in gymnastics with a golden baton. So if you're okay, could you show me a little?
a little reaction.
I want to capture a reaction, but if I lose, I'll commit seppuku.
Really?
That's a lot of confidence. I'll go for that belt with a do or die attitude. If you lose, you must do it too.
I'm saying I won't do it.
The reason this world title match is called a destined battle is because... Is studying cockroaches worthwhile? Focusing on them excessively seems abnormal.
The characteristic movements of the Knight player's fighting style. Kazuta Ichida.
The flowers are blooming beautifully. Shouldn't Mr. Knight say something like this?
Normally, player Daiki is full of energy and has plenty of spirit.
I understand if you say you admire me.
My punch is the best in the universe.
It's interesting, isn't it? No.
There's no such boxer, isn't it? That's the problem.
That's not good. I think it's necessary.
Whether I think it's necessary or not, well, I'm really reflecting on the content of the match. That was really a reflection, or rather, I wasn't just a boxer.
I reflect on it, but not too deeply.
Whether it's good or bad, I'm okay with it.
I think there are people who say it's bad.
So, that's all part of entertainment too. I think that's the case. But I don't think I'm weak against Naito-san. After all, he's a world champion, and even though he didn't win, he's defended his title about 5 times.
I know that player was an incredibly strong champion.
But
it's funny to say that I can't beat Uchida, isn't it?
Rise up. I don't get excited. I don't see people...
I'm immature. I've been saying that all along, but it's a bit too much. I do reflect on whether I've gone too far. I admit that I may have overstepped. I think I should have changed the way I speak a bit, but I am who I am now because of that experience. I didn't understand it at the time, so I made such a statement, but still,
It's good as a pattern to hype up the match.
I can say that. It may be a bit much, but I think you and the fans would want to see what happened.
Don't you get curious about things like the heat of the moment, the practice, and so on?
But it's not done. It's not done. Nature.
Too right.
I can't handle it anymore, whether it's a joke or not. An absolutely terrible joker.
Well, that's the real Daiki. He was like that at the time. He really said he was the best in the universe. I don't think he thought he was the best in the universe, but I've decided that I really don't know what to say about Knight. It's a mess. Weak or something like that. What do you call mine? Bragging or empty bragging. I think those are words that come out to make myself look strong.
But I think your brother Kuki also talks quite trashy. To hype up the match, isn't it? He also managed to say it quite naturally. What type is it?
But isn't it because I want to show myself as strong that I say I'm a big mouse? I won't lose to anyone. Including all overseas players is one reason.
I think it's a psycho fight channel, but I think it's a magazine like this.
And break it.
Isn't that amazing? I've been doing it for a while.
We've been doing our own thing.
The children have been doing it.
Since the time of the children.
Is that a press conference or a performance?
Performing as a performance, you could say that's what it is, right?
When I see the current lively boxer, I think that's what it is. I thought about it beforehand and practiced a little, but that's what it is.
If you don't plan.
I think it can't be done without a plan. Even if that's not the case, that's how I see it. Isn't it necessary to have a boxer in this era?
It's embarrassing, isn't it? Isn't it embarrassing to do it? Or should I say it's embarrassing? What do you mean?
Because it's boxing. Because I'm a boxer. I'm running to show it in boxing, isn't it?
What do you think about that? I'm really watching Inoue player. I wonder if that's okay, but I want to see players like Inoue, you know.
I can go this way with something called orthodox.
Well, that's good, isn't it?
I think that's the ideal, but it's not possible for everyone. It's impossible, isn't it? So, no matter how strong you are, if you don't show it, it's meaningless, isn't it? It's sad, isn't it? Even if you're really strong, if people don't understand what you're doing, they won't understand, will they?
In the midst of that, if there's a player who can play the villain role alone,
yes,
such a player and such a player will shine.
That's how it is, isn't it?
Heel is necessary after all.
I think so, don't you?
It's really necessary, isn't it? Really, one person, 2 people, about 3 people. I think the current boxing, especially Japanese boxing, is not well known. But do you know about the likes of Raisin in general?
It's about as famous as that.
There's a player named Ren Hiramoto.
Who is there?
If someone is playing the role of a heel, it's probably him. But even though he stands out, isn't he cool?
Isn't the best heel the worst one?
Right? And it's strong. I even beat Asakura-san with it, right?
When I watch Aiueno, I think about something, so I do this in boxing.
It keeps me on my toes. Regardless of the player's role, I'll give it my all. Winning is everything for sports players. They may say otherwise, but losing leaves them devastated. In victory, they can say anything. While there might be some truth to that, ultimately, like Mike Tyson or Mayweather who talk a lot, it all comes down to winning. So you're saying that the result is everything. So it's okay to win, isn't it?
Win.
At least don't commit a crime, right? As a person, it's not good to be too thorough. I think it's necessary to exaggerate to some extent as a professional.
Now, we are training several young fighters in our team.
So, that's why we are doing it.
Do you give such advice to those selected players?
He's a single player.
We do have conversations about whether we should go this way or that, but it's not fun if it's too serious. There are good parts about being casual too, so we try to extend those fun parts. Everyone does their own thing.
We must approach it entirely differently.
That's right. Everyone has their own interesting parts. There's no such thing as a person who isn't interesting. So let's bring out that interesting part. That's what I think.
It's a given that boxing is tough. It's a big premise, but in reality, that's the...
The fight was a bit of a surprise when A came in, but it's something you wouldn't learn on other channels. Really, again?
I don't remember losing at all. I've won everything up to this point. I never thought I would lose, you know. The decision came in the 4th round where I lost. I remember that. I don't really remember anything after the 4th round. Everything is a blur. I vaguely remember being thrown around. I don't know what I did, and when I realized it, the decision was made. Once the decision was made, my team's mood was down. I realized I was losing. I thought to myself, am I losing? Did I get knocked down? But I didn't get knocked down. I lost by decision. I was in a daze. My surroundings were a blur. My team had a dark aura. The atmosphere was heavy. I remember being thrown around a few times.
That punch was effective.
It's not a joke. It's tension. Likely because it was my first world match, and I was about to lose for the first time. The fact that I was going to lose weighed heavily on my mind.
Yeah.
I've never had a match before.
What was the feedback like after the match?
I haven't seen anything yet, but I guess it's been covered in the newspapers and stuff.
The news coverage has resulted in many TV station people outside my house, preventing me from leaving. I've been confined to my room.
So, of course. Such great pressure.
Go ahead, no.
Be noticed.
Even though I said I was under pressure, I thought I could win, you know?
I never thought I would lose, but now I think my team, including me, was immature in every match. Now, I think so now, you know, behind the scenes.
As the president and trainer of a boxing gym, isn't the lack of a career for the athletes and the lack of a career for the team the most important thing?
I think we decided on another title match 2 years later, but with the Tai and Denkao-san.
Denko match.
I lost 2-0 by decision, but I stayed quiet. 4 months later, I made a comeback and won the world title for the first time. How did you feel at the moment you won?
Did you think about giving up, Mr. Fukai? Mr. Fukai, you thought, I can quit any time. So without thinking about what to do next, you felt like, I can quit now. I'm not a world champion anymore. You've achieved your dream, and you've achieved your family's dream. Would you say that's the most comforting or satisfying feeling? Mr. Fukai.
Mr. Fukai, my goal was to achieve that. Now that I've achieved it, I can live peacefully.
I don't have anything else to accomplish. I thought I could quit after doing just that and losing to Mr. Ikeda, but I was born into this family, so if I run away, it's no good. I absolutely have to become a champion.
I have to become a champion for my family. So even if I lose once again, this third time is really the last. I'm going in with the intention of quitting boxing if I lose.
I said I would quit if I lost, but I won there, so...
That was my motivation for my family.
To become a champion.
That's what I'm saying.
Rather than being my belt, it's the belt of my family. It feels like everyone has won this belt.
You mentioned that you achieved the 2nd rank, but does that mean you've set a new goal?
But that rank was tough. I think I was probably more suited to Superfly, Bantam, or Super Bantam. I thought I could go higher. Even while doing that, I was ranked second or something in Superfly. I was the top choice for that.
I was able to do it with my hands.
And I did it with a Thai person again, you know. Teparito.
I lost that one.
That's a losing judgment.
It's over.
But even then, I won again after that, as a player named Rodrigo. It's 3-0, isn't it? Tapperlit is known for his rise to become a kickboxing boss.
But he came out of nowhere.
You know.
It was really surprising, wasn't it? Fukai was strong. He was the same age as me. Strong, his punch was strong.
Yan Yan is still doing it recently, which is amazing. Fukai likes to fight, right? Yan Yan Thai people are amazing. This player probably did Muay Thai before boxing.
Nah, Yan Yan.
That's about 200 fights Muay Thai. Doing boxing, still doing kickboxing. It's a tough life, isn't it? Yan Yan, life is always a battle.
Isn't that right?
Please take care of your body. You had to retire due to a second-degree mouth injury, but what was life like after retirement?
After retiring abruptly, I've been idle for 2 or 3 years. I never anticipated retirement and suddenly found myself unable to envision the future. I still haven't given much thought to what lies ahead.
I'm not doing anything.
Even if you say you're not doing anything, you're doing something, aren't you?
I went to play.
Or something. Home?
Retreat to?
Also coming back. Watching movies and stuff. Or TV shows.
And work, you know.
I was quite worried about my surroundings.
You were worried, weren't you? You don't understand, do you? Eating meals together with friends you don't understand, or people who have been helpful, or even drinking alcohol. I really think I was living a worthless life. Let's call it a peaceful, worthless life. I was allowed to live a peaceful life, wasn't I?
But even so, I was living as a boxer all the time. I didn't even have time to play with my children.
I think so, you know.
That's how it goes, probably, I guess.
Well, because we had a child. Got married, had a child. Are you alone now? Or 2 people?
A boy, and 2 boys. Do you let them box or not, or even if not?
They say they want to do it. Mood.
I have absolutely no interest.
It doesn't matter at all. I won't stop, and I don't seem to have any recommendations. How did you manage to get out of there without doing anything? Is there a trigger? Is there something now, President Jim?
The trigger was definitely my brother not doing anything. There's no such thing as not doing anything, definitely. You should also get involved in boxing. It's better to do boxing. That's what I'm saying first. I'm the current president, but let's start with the vice president. I was a trainer, and my older brother was the president. I took over about 2 years ago, but it started with my older brother. Shall we do boxing all at once? Or would you like to teach me by hand?
I've been training myself and also developing professional players.
Hey!
When asked about my current goal, it's to train a world champion. That's what it is.
Yes, that's my dream right now. In about 2 or 3 years, an interesting kid will emerge.
It's interesting to see the players gathered. I'm excited for the future. I also appear on the Daiki camera channel, so everyone, please check it out from the description box. I would appreciate it. Also, please smash that subscribe button on that channel. Just smash it on the day itself. It's Sayo Tsuichi. Let's meet again. Bye-bye.